Today on Judge Faith, a professional video gamer demands his former roommate pay the remaining balance on a broken San Francisco sublease agreement.
You'd be amazed the kind of tenants I've had in my apartment, man. Just nasty. And I've been stabbed by a tenant, I've been robbed, I've gotten in fights with tenants.
I asked him, can I clean the bathroom? He said, no, you gotta wait till I come home.
Tenant agrees to completely respect the queen bee of the house. Does Beyonce live there too?
And later, an ex-husband brings his ex-wife to court after the IRS collects on their fraudulent tax return.
His old assistant had told him about this tax preparer that she knew because he would fudge on the taxes to make us get more money back.
I was told that we would get a return because we made a lot of money.
You'd get a return like wink, wink. I'ma help you out with this return.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Terry Austin says his former roommate was disrespectful and broke his lease without notice. He's suing for unpaid rent and related expenses. Defendant Rashard Stevens says he doesn't know because Terry was an unreasonable roommate and made the living conditions in the penthouse unbearable.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Austin versus Stevens.
Thank you, Juan. Terry Austin,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Rashard Stevens.
Yes, ma'am.
For $9,570. You say he owes you for unpaid rent and related expenses?
Correct.
Okay, and you're from San Francisco, right?
I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I live in San Francisco.
Okay, this case originated in San Francisco?
Yes.
But thank you for giving me your background information. Why don't you just tell me why we're here and why you brought this lawsuit today?
All right, so I own a 2-bedroom, 2-bath penthouse apartment. I've been living there for 3 years. I posted an ad back in March 2016 looking for new roommates. Any space in my house they find rent out to people comes furnished. Queen size bed or twin size bed, couch, dressers, cable, Wi-Fi, home phone, whatever you need, I got it. I'm a professional video gamer, so I pretty much sit at my house most days.
Okay.
I've been playing video games since I was a kid. Currently, I'm actually trying to get into the World League.
Okay.
I'm trying to build a 5-man team, and hopefully we win, because when I heard in the next year they're gonna have a $100,000 grand prize, so that's my goal.
You're the first gamer I've actually met, professional gamer, but I've heard a lot about the industry.
It's amazing.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating to hear how these things work and they have these competitions. What do you do?
Oh, I work at McDonald's as a cashier.
Are you from San Francisco?
I'm from Georgia originally.
How did you get to San Francisco?
I came with D&T Connections. It's a company, like a magazine company. They sell,
magazine company?
Yeah, they sell subscriptions and stuff.
You ended up in San Francisco and you like it there and you want to stay?
Yeah.
Him being African-American male, me also being African-American male. I've met a lot of African people in the city of San Francisco. I will give them first pick in my apartment because I know what it's like, you feel me, being African-American and having those stereotypes just thrown at you the moment somebody sees you.
May I see the lease agreement between the two of you?
And this is the 10th month.
You signed 2 leases, what
One
you're telling
lease.
me.
I signed 1 lease, Your Honor.
Okay, may I see
When I
it?
got the lease, it was blank.
Okay, may I see your copy of the lease? And so in your ad, you advertise 420 friendly. You say there will also be a move-in smoke session.
Yes.
What does that mean? You welcome them in with a smoke session?
Oh my God.
So pretty much like I do with anybody that moves in my crib, I'm an avid cannabis user. I'm an enthusiast about it. I love cannabis. I've been smoking cannabis since I was 15. It's amazing and I would never stop.
You give them top of the line.
Yeah, pretty
and
much
you
get
have
a smoke session. He passed out the first time I smoked with him. So
Yeah, I don't.
When did he move in?
he moved in on the 4th or the 5th of April.
And what was the agreed upon rent at that time?
$860 as stated in the ad and as stated literally
And that is
on the
for a
contract.
shared bedroom?
For a shared bedroom. It comes
And he
fully
would be
furnished.
sharing the bedroom with you?
He would share the bedroom with me and a female.
3 people in 1 bedroom?
Me and her, we had our half of the room and he had his half of the room.
And you're
Derek
paying
has his own.
$860. I guess this is San Francisco. $860
It's
to
fair.
live in a room
It's
with
way
2
more
other people?
fair.
Let me see the bedroom. Okay, so that's the bedroom, and your
Yes,
bed
he
is
has
on
his back half. My bed is right here where you see the pretty much the bed right here that's partially with the blue on
for
it.
$860.
Yeah, she got all of that.
Tell me the last date he stayed in your apartment?
The 7th of June of this month. He just up and vacated.
So just from April to June?
The first time he vacated one day when he owed me money, when I was sleeping one day, the 3-hour nap, woke up and all this stuff was just out of my apartment. He left the key on my table. Come to find out later that night, I get a phone call telling me, you feel me, he was just got robbed and beat up or whatever the case was. He comes back the next day. I told him, the only way for you to move into my apartment is if you have the money.
Why did you move out early?
Coming up, the terms of the lease agreement are revealed.
Tenant agrees to be clean, tidy, respectful, and odorless. So you just can't smell like anything.
And later, a divorced couple argues over which party should pay the IRS for their fraudulent tax return.
She contacted me via Facebook regarding an audit that she received.
I went with it. Rick controlled like the whole thing. Like I didn't even know the guy, to be honest.
Is that true?
Plaintiff Terry Austin says Richard broke his lease without notice. He's suing for unpaid rent and related expenses. Defendant Richard Stevens says he doesn't know because Terry made the living conditions in the penthouse unbearable.
Did you disappear and say you had been robbed?
I did disappear, Your Honor, because
did?
yes, I
Okay.
did on the 22nd
Why?
of May because I was going through so much with him, with
Okay.
living there, and
What were you going through?
Okay, so when I was, he wanted us to clean the bathroom on his time. Like, for example, one day I came home and I was supposed to go out with my friend. I asked him, can I clean the bathrooms? He said, no, you gotta wait till I come home. When he comes home.
Did you tell him to wait to clean the bathroom until you got home?
Yeah, so I can spray it down, because I told everybody that's in my apartment, based off the chemicals that we're using, I want anyone overspraying chemicals or overusing chemicals.
You don't think he's capable of spraying?
Honestly, from past Tenant, I don't think none of them are.
So you have to supervise them cleaning the bathroom?
I don't supervise them cleaning anything. What I do is I spray it down and I leave.
I have to tell you, I've never really, now that I'm looking at this, I've never seen a lease agreement like this. I've never seen anything like this. Tenant agrees to be clean, tidy, respectful, considerate, hygienic, and odorless for the duration of the residency. So you just can't smell like anything.
Nah, because you be amazed the kind of tenants I've had in my apartment, man. Just people just nasty funkin'. I've been stabbed by a tenant. I've been robbed. I've gotten in fights with tenants. Like, I've been dealing with all this stuff with these tenants for so long.
Not you. Here we go, last page of the contract. Introducing the new way for reduced rent.
Play for pay.
Play for pay.
Play the video game to get money off your rent.
If they challenge you, you challenge them to play Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Naruto.
And if they win, you give them money off their rent. But if they lose,
they owe half of what they betted.
I told you I've never seen anything like this before. Tenant agrees to completely respect the queen bee of the house. Does Beyonce live there too? I'm just curious, what's the longest anyone has lived with you under this lease?
A year and a half.
A year and a half, okay.
I can do that.
Tell me, who stabbed you? You don't have to tell me his name, but who is he?
He was a meth user in my apartment I had no idea about. He pretty much vacated one day because I guess he couldn't pay his rent. I left out of the apartment. I got a phone call from the apartment. She's like, hey, they're breaking in the apartment. They're breaking in the apartment. She was screaming and crying. Like, I got the phone call. We turned right back around. As we're pulling up, we see them driving off. I immediately got out the car and jumped on top of the hood and started punching the window trying to get inside. They tried to get me off. They slid me over to where the driver's side of the vehicle was, and I punched the driver's window out, and I immediately grabbed her by her throat and tried to get them to pull over so I can get what was mine back from him.
So, did you think you were in a video game when you did all of this, or you knew this was real
I wanted my
life?
stuff because my social security, my birth certificate, and about $800 worth in cash was literally inside of a security deposit box.
Okay, I'm gonna explain something to you. You can't resort to actual physical violence over a property theft. You have to call the police, you can follow them, you can track them down, but you're knocking in windows, you're grabbing some woman by her neck, strangling her.
No, I reached in. I wasn't strangling. I was trying to get them to
You said
pull
you
over.
grabbed her by her neck.
No, I punched the window and I grabbed it. I was like, pull over real quick and immediately let go or whatever. And I ran over to Nick's.
Imaginary pearls right now. If you had come in today, you left. You broke the lease when you left. But why do you feel you were being gay bashed?
Every time I, come home and, you call me a whore, if I'm going out with a friend or whatever, oh, you're a whore, all that stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
were you calling him those names?
No, ma'am, he was not called the F word ever. He was called the S word, a slut, because he brought over some dude to our apartment. and had sex with him right across from us, didn't even know his name.
Everybody's different. You don't know him. What you call a slut could just be Wednesday for him.
His first week moving in my crib, this dude is disrespectful. He walks out in front of me in nothing but a thong.
I don't wear thongs. Why would I be wearing thongs?
I'm not here to judge.
I don't wear thongs. It wasn't thongs, Your Honor. Come on, tell you what it was. It was a blue underwear, but the back is like a knit.
I don't need to. I don't care.
No, that's.
I don't care.
I'm trying to explain because it's not a.
It sounds like the two of you definitely needed to separate at the time because you were not getting along. When someone breaks the lease, you have a duty to mitigate. That means find someone else to replace them. You just can't sit out the remainder of the lease and say, hey, you left, there are 10 more months on this lease, you owe me for 10 months. You have a duty to find someone to replace him. In the meantime, I'm going to order him to pay what I think is a fair and reasonable amount of time for you to find another roommate. In this case, $1,990, 2 months of rent. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff.
I've learned never to trust him again, and that I'm so over this roommate stuff, and that pretty much in the next few months, I'm gonna get my own place.
The stuff that he says wasn't true, and is what it is, so this will never happen again.
Plaintiff Rick Glocale says his ex-wife knew they'd reported false mileage on their tax return, and she should pay her portion of the IRS bill. He's suing for money owed on a tax audit. He's accompanied in court today by his wife, Cheryl Franklin. Defendant Amber Glocale says she doesn't owe because Rick is greedy, and he made the decision they should file the fraudulent tax return. She's countersuing for emotional distress and harassment.
Rick Glocale?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant, Amber Glocale.
Yes, Your Honor.
For $3,100. You say she owes you on a tax audit?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were countersuing, ma'am, for $2,000 for emotional distress and harassment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's start from the beginning. Give me some background on the two of you, sir.
Well, Your Honor, I've known Amber since she was 3 years old. We reconnected in high school. Shortly after that, we started dating, moved in together. 5 years after that, we got married in 2006. Around 2011, we got separated and she filed for divorce. So by May 2012, it was finalized.
Okay, and what was your relationship like with the plaintiff, ma'am?
Not that great. Rick was very controlling, but he was my first love. And so I tried to make everything work that I could.
The two of you were divorced back in 2012?
Yes,
That's
Your
when
Honor.
it was finalized?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't you explain your case to me?
We did our taxes in February 2012 for
You filed a joint return?
Yes, in 2012 for 2011. We split the money 50-50. The taxes that we filed, she had it put down as she drove 33,000 miles for work related, and I drove 15,000.
Okay.
By October 2012, she contacted me via Facebook regarding an audit that she received.
What were you doing for work at the time?
I was a manager of a payday advance company.
Okay, and so you received this audit and they were questioning the amount of miles that you said you drove on your car?
That's what the tax guy put down.
You mean the person who prepared the taxes?
Correct.
The tax preparer didn't come up with the mileage to put on the tax return, did he?
Pretty much. He
How is that possible?
what he did is he looked at our previous year's taxes.
And you're okay with the tax preparer coming up with your deductions?
The reason why we had went there is Rick had known, or excuse me, his old assistant had told him about this tax preparer that she knew because he would fudge on the taxes to make us get more money back.
Okay, so you knew that in advance.
I went with it. Rick controlled like the whole thing. Like I didn't even know the guy, to be honest.
Is that true?
That was my first year dealing with him as well. I didn't know him.
But did you
either.
go to him specifically because you were told
I
he'd
was
work
told
with
that
you on the
we
numbers?
would get a return because
What?
we made a lot of money.
You'd get a return like wink, wink. I'm gonna help you out with this return?
Yes.
Okay, and so you got audited. Why am I here? Why are you suing? Because you got audited because you both fudged the numbers on the return and signed off on it.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the argument over who's responsible for the IRS payment escalates.
She got a settlement in upwards of $100,000. All I want is half.
You got $100,000. He knows you have money, and that's just it at the end of the day.
Plaintiff Rick Glocale says Amber knew they'd reported false mileage on their tax return. He's suing for money owed on a tax audit. Defendant Amber Glocale says she doesn't know because Rick made the final decision to file the fraudulent return. She's countersuing for emotional distress and harassment.
We split the taxes 50-50.
Okay.
In 2015, I got a letter stating that I have till April 2nd to pay $4,022 for the back federal taxes. My cousin told me...
Don't tell me your cousin's now preparing your taxes and he's telling you
My
how
cousin
to
called
handle
me,
this.
informing me that she got a settlement in upwards of $100,000. As soon as I got the letter from the IRS stating that this is how much they took out, I contacted her saying they took this much money from me. All I want is half, since you took half for the tax money.
Why are you suing for $2,000 for emotional distress and harassment?
I don't even know how he found me at my job, but I mean, I was with a customer when he had came up to me, acting like he was trying to make an appointment for taxes, but I knew that's not what the case was.
Where's your job? What do you?
Now I work for Jackson Hewitt Tax Services.
Isn't that something? Don't that beat all? And you say he approached you as if he was a customer, tried to make an appointment, and you feel that that's harassment. I'm sorry, who are you, ma'am?
I'm his wife, Sherelle.
Okay, you're remarried.
Yes.
Step up, please. What do you do for a living? I'm just curious.
I work, I'm an auditor at a health insurance place.
Here we go. He does not get any better than this.
Well, I wasn't involved in any of that.
I mean, this room is just full of resources. You have an auditor here, a manager for a tax preparer. What do you want to say?
She stated that she had no problem paying me half the money.
So why didn't you do that if that's what you told him you were going to do?
Because he wouldn't stop. It was like relentless, like
you
every day.
You got $100,000. He
right.
knows you have money, and that's just it at the end of the day. It's not that often that I get people who come into court and are so open with the fact that, yeah, I did what I needed to do to get a return and I fudged the numbers and this is what happened. But hey, I want some justice now, right? I want some justice because what happened to me isn't fair. Forget about what I did with the government. I want justice now.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So let's assume that it was an innocent mistake for a second, although we know it wasn't. And you were audited. The IRS comes back and they say, you owe this money, but you're now divorced. There's an entire procedure set up with the IRS where you go to the IRS and you request innocent spouse relief. And you say, IRS, this is my wife's portion of the return. I didn't keep track of the miles that she was traveling. We are now divorced. This is not my responsibility. I'm an innocent spouse in all of this. There is an entire process set up through the IRS where you can go and do that, and they will examine it and hold the spouse accountable. You can't do that in your case, sir, because you can't go to the IRS in good faith and say that there was a mistake made. Because you just admitted in court that this was no honest mistake, that both of you knew exactly what you were doing when you embellished these numbers. And now you want to come in court and you want me to ratify this behavior by ordering her to pay you half. I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because you don't have clean hands. I am not going to get involved in an illegal transaction. You take this up with the IRS. I wish you well, but you have to take it up with the IRS. You're not going to do it. You know why? Because you're not going to admit to tax fraud to the IRS. Good luck to both of you. Judgment in this case is for the defendant, but your counterclaim for emotional distress is dismissed.
You admitted and said you were going to pay me that money, and then you decided not to. So I'm glad it's over and done with. I can move on with my life.
Just do things on the right track. Don't try to fudge any numbers or anything like that. Just do things the right way.
Today on Judge Faith, two former best friends struggle to move forward after a terrifying car crash leaves them emotionally and financially traumatized.
She accelerated, the 4 tires popped up. We didn't stop until I got out in my living room.
That day I was supposed to take her to the shop and I had to pick up my kids on a whim.
The brakes failed, you couldn't stop, so the car went straight through the house into your living room.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Destiny Massey says instead of hitting the brakes, her former friend hit the gas and drove her car right into Destiny's house. She's suing for destroyed personal property and home repairs. Defendant Najma Kareem says she owes nothing because it was an accident and the damage should be covered under the homeowner's policy or renter's insurance.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Massey versus Kareem.
Thank you, Juan. Destiny Massey?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Najma Kareem, for $10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
For the value of property you say she destroyed in your home and home repairs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This was in Sacramento, California?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't you start from the beginning? How do you know the defendant?
Well, when I arrived back in California in 2012, me and Najma's became friends, and we basically talked over the phone for a long time. Because
Where were you coming from?
I was coming from Florida. I used to be active duty military, and when I got out, my last duty station was down there in Florida, so I just stayed down there with my kids.
What branch of the military were you in?
The Army.
The Army, okay. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Well, I came back from Florida in 2012 to California because most of my family is now passing away. I met Najma, and because I think we had a mutual friend, so we basically met and we talked over the phone for a long time. But I primarily lived in the north side of Sacramento. I have Section 8 housing through the VA. It's a specific type of Section 8 for just veterans. I wind up not having anywhere to go and not having anywhere to stay. I'm diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay.
I sometimes get sick from time to time. I have an anxiety disorder and seizures, so I choose not to drive. So if I need to go to the doctor, Najma's one of my good friends, so she'll drive me. She'll take me to my doctor's. She'll walk with me in the grocery store. If I have a seizure, she'll leave her job and she'll come make sure that I'm okay.
So she was a good friend?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you living in this home that you were currently in Sacramento? Were you living by yourself?
I live by myself.
And you were renting that home from someone else?
Yes, ma'am.
You were on Section 8 at the time?
Still am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
I wound up not feeling good. I felt like something was sitting on my chest and I couldn't breathe well. So I'm a veteran. We call the advice nurse and they'll tell us what to do. They instructed me that I needed to come into the hospital. So Najma showed up around at my house on the 19th between probably 9 and 10 o'clock with her kids, and I went to my doctor's appointment. We were there till about 3 or 4:30.
And you're about to tell me what happened after that, but let me hear from Ms. Kareem first. Give me some background on you and how often were you driving the plaintiff around? Is everything she stated so far accurate?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. I'm her friend and I'm her caretaker, and we've known each other for about 2 years. I met her through my children's father.
When you say you're her caretaker, is there a formal arrangement between the two of you?
No, that's just how I am. I care for people.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
You have a full-time job?
No, I have a part-time job.
Part-time job? What do you do for work?
I work at Dickey's Barbecue Pit.
Okay, and so she talked to you about some of the issues she was having in her concerns about driving, and you did what?
I would provide rides for her whenever she needed.
And was she paying you to do this?
No.
You were volunteering?
Yeah, sometimes she would give me gas if I really needed it, but I never requested gas from her because she was my friend, and that's just how I am.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am. So you were coming back from the doctor.
When we left the doctor's office in Mather, we stopped by Najma's house first, which is close to my house, but it's considered in Greenhaven. When we got there, her mom said I didn't look too good, so she needed to take me home. So Najma proceeded to leave from her house to my house. My driveway is kind of large. I can fit 6 cars in my driveway going long way. The way my house is shaped is a little bit different. My living room is where your garage would be. It's separate from the main part of the house. So when she pulls into the driveway, there's like a little steep, like a step, I guess. So when she pulls in, I'm in the passenger seat and her kids are behind me. I felt, the car pulled in and it didn't pull in all the way. It kind of rolled back.
Whose car was she driving?
Her own. It was a 2003 Eclipse.
Okay, so it was her car.
Yes, ma'am. It rolled up, we pulled in and the car rolled back. She accelerated, the 4 tires popped up, but she didn't come in far enough in my driveway and the car rolled back again. She accelerated again and we didn't stop until I got out in my living room.
Coming up, the issue of insurance is addressed in court.
Were you not insured?
I was insured, but it wasn't under my name. The car was gifted to me from my grandmother, and
So
we
you
didn't get to
did not have insurance?
change it over into my name.
And you were not listed as a permissive driver under your grandmother's policy?
No.
Plaintiff Destiny Massey says Najma is at fault for the accident and should pay for the damage. She's suing for destroyed personal property and home repairs. Defendant Najma Kareem says she owes nothing because the damage should be covered under the homeowner's policy or renter's insurance.
So the car went straight through the house?
It went
into your
straight
living room.
through the front
living
window, through the front window, into...
I only made it into the living room. It didn't go past the wall. It just went into the living room.
But you went through a
Najma,
wall.
You knocked, the car hit so hard that the chair literally flew into the wall, made a large dent into the wall, and I had leather couches, that recline and stuff. The car smashed into my couch and it completely crushed my couch and it knocked the baseboard and the back wall about a foot off the house. But my house in the back is cement. I don't know why it's like that, but it's cement and copper wire.
And that's what stopped you from going through another wall?
And the couch.
Okay, let me see the photos you submitted to the court.
This is actually Najma's car inside of my house. That is my living room window, and that is my front door. Where I'm standing at, that's the side where the garage is, and that little piece of white is a bedroom. But it's completely in my living room.
And you have video you submitted as well. Let me take a look at the video.
Ma'am. This is actually the couch that she drove into. In front of that bay window was my 65-inch TV, my surround sound, and most of my belongings. That is the back wall that has been pushed back, and that's the major impact part from where the car landed inside of my living room.
What happened, Miss Kareem? Were you having a malfunction with your car? What happened?
Yes, my car had some issues with the brakes, and when we were coming into the driveway...
So you knew you had issues with the brakes?
Yes, that day I was supposed to take it to the shop, and I had to pick up my kids on a whim.
No one was injured,
Nobody
right?
was injured.
No.
Okay, and so what happened?
Oh, well, I was driving up the driveway, up that steep, and it did roll back, so I knew I had to give it a little more gas. So
a little?
Once I accept, yes, just a little gas. So when I went to step on the gas, she said, "Nana, brake," and we were only halfway in the driveway. So I proceeded to brake, and that's when I realized that my anti-lock light had came on, but we didn't even stop until we got to that couch that you see in that
So your
video.
brakes failed?
Yes, basically, that's what I'm saying.
Completely at that moment?
Yes.
What happened after you realized you've all gone through this wall?
I had a meltdown. I'm not gonna lie. I had a meltdown because it took me back to a place where I was real young. My grandmother had a seizure, and she had went through someone's garage, and I had to stop the car basically by turning off the key.
So you've been in an incident like this before?
Yes, I have.
What happens after you go through the wall and you're inside of your living? What's your reaction to this?
Well, I'm a vet, so I'm trained to react first.
Fight or flight.
So I'm gonna be honest, from my opinion, excuse me, I see this. Her leg was moving, and in my opinion, she was pumping on the brake, but the car didn't stop. So I'm a vet. My first instinct, I got out the car, I leaned the seat back, and I strapped both of her children, and I took her kids out the car, and I walked out the front door. I don't know how long it was before the ambulance got there, but by the time they got there, then my...
Less than 5 minutes.
It had came in. It said on me that she had drove me in my house in. They didn't take me, but they had to get my breathing back in order so I didn't seize. But I was pretty bad.
So you were hyperventilating because
Yes, ma'am.
obviously this is a pretty traumatic accident to be involved in, and it's your home and all of your property. So let me understand this. Where do you live now?
In the house still.
Has the home been repaired?
No, ma'am.
Is there a front wall?
No, ma'am, there's boards.
Okay, it's boarded up, but you're still living there.
Yes, ma'am.
For what reason? Because
I have nowhere else to go.
Coming up on Judge Faith, can the ladies mend their broken friendship?
you have a friend, somebody who is driving you around, taking you to the grocery store, doing all of these things, never asked you for anything. That's a real friend. That's what I'm saying, Juan. That's the kind of friend I want to have.
Plaintiff Destiny Massey says Najma hit the gas instead of the brakes. She's suing for destroyed personal property and home repairs. Defendant Najma Kareem says she owes nothing because it was an accident.
And so you're suing now for the value of your property.
Yes, ma'am.
You said it was destroyed. You said it was $10,000 worth of property. And so for the last 2 months, you've been living with the home boarded.
Yes, ma'am.
You're in Section 8. What about homeowners insurance? Has that not covered any of the damage to your property?
My landlord claims she does not have homeowners insurance.
But you're on Section 8, so she does have homeowners insurance.
She keeps telling me that she doesn't have it. As far as Section 8 has done is they came out, they put out a notice for inspection. They tell you what you're supposed to fix and they give you a certain amount of time to fix it. They came out after the accident because I had already had an inspection scheduled for the 28th.
And there have been no repairs?
No, ma'am. I cleaned out the living room.
The VA has not investigated the claim that she does not have homeowners insurance. Because in general, for her to be approved, for you to live in the home, there are certain requirements that have to be met, and one of those is having insurance.
My landlord told me that it lapsed.
The homeowner's insurance lapsed.
That's what she claimed.
Okay, so she's saying she had it at the time. How long have you lived in this home?
For over a year.
Okay, let me hear from you about your car insurance. Were you not insured?
I was insured, but it wasn't under my name. The car was gifted to me from my grandmother, and
so
we
you
didn't get to
did not have insurance.
Change it over into my name.
How
not
long
with
have you had
that
the car?
vehicle. Not very long, since I want to say like January, February.
Long enough for you to make sure that the car is properly insured in your name, so you could drive it legally in the state of California,
yes, my grandmother does not live in Sacramento.
Okay,
and that's
you got to
what our
stop. I know that this was an accident.
Yes.
But the insurance piece of this is your responsibility completely to make sure the car that you're driving with you and your young children in the vehicle is properly insured. Even if it's liability insurance, I'm just asking you what kind of insurance you had, but you had no insurance whatsoever in your name is what you're telling me.
The insurance, we had insurance, not in my name. And that was supposed to be taken care of.
And you were not listed as a permissive driver under your grandmother's policy?
No.
Okay, so that's problematic because that's something you should have checked on and made sure was taken care of. That's your responsibility if you're going to drive this car.
Yes.
This case is exactly why people have insurance, because it's the unexpected that happens, the things you don't think will happen, which is exactly what happened in this case. The brakes failed, you couldn't stop, you went through the wall of the house.
Yes.
And the police questioned you that day. They found that you weren't intoxicated. There wasn't an issue, that it was a failure with the car. And so here we are now. You weren't insured at all.
Not with
and
this
now you're
vehicle.
looking at a lawsuit worth $10,000. You can't afford to get into an accident like this.
This is true.
May I see proof of the property that was damaged in the home?
I believe that Miss Peggy should have had homeowner's insurance as well.
You mean renter's insurance?
Renter's insurance.
This is a list of my property. She also ran over my medications, which I kept in my living room under my TV. So this is my med list.
Is there any particular reason why you're keeping your medications on your television?
Well, so anyone that knows, if I had a seizure, go find Destiny's white box. It's like an emergency box. People that know me know my conditions, they know what's wrong, and they know where to look for it at. To be honest, part of the problem was there was insurance, but there was only $10,000 worth of insurance.
Did you have renter's insurance?
No, her grandmother or whoever it was, they had progressive insurance.
Oh, you're talking about the car insurance. You know what?
The car insurance?
There's no insurance available for her to make a claim. Apparently no homeowner's insurance, no car insurance, no renter's insurance, but there's a difference between renter's insurance and car insurance because by law, you're required to have insurance on your car. She's not required to have renter's insurance. Obviously, it's a good idea, but I'm talking about your legal obligations. People have accidents every day. It's not every day that you drive your car through somebody else's living room.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
In a case like this, there are two issues. There's the issue of liability, there's the issue of damages. In terms of liability, you're liable. It was an accident, obviously. Your brakes failed. But you know what? You knew that there was a problem with the brakes. You should have had it taken care of. You driving in this car, you have your young kids in the back. That should have been your number one priority.
Yes.
Then there's the issue of damages, what you have to pay. She submitted a list here of the items in the living room. They add up to approximately $10,000. You know this was an accident, right? Because
Yes,
this
ma'am.
woman was your friend.
Yes, ma'am.
And she knows what your life has been like in the past year. Things that you've been through, the fact that you've been struggling and you're on Section 8, all of these things after serving our country in the military. You didn't have a place to go. You were homeless at some point. And then you moved to Sacramento and you have a friend, somebody who is picking you up, driving you around, taking you to the grocery store, doing all of these things, never asked you for a dime, never asked you for anything. She said sometimes you knew she needed gas money and you would give her gas money. That's the kind of friend, that's a real friend. That's what I'm saying, Juan. That's the kind of friend I want to have. Now, this was an accident. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not a woman who would ever intentionally do anything to harm you. She had your back. So, do you forgive her for what happened?
Yeah, Najma, please be my friend. I'm stuck right now, okay?
I get it, you're in a bad place. But can you mend this friendship is what I'm saying, because people like her don't come around that often.
I miss being able to talk to her on a daily basis when I don't have no one to talk to and no one else understands what's going on, and they're just harboring me, just over it. Nobody understands, and sometimes people don't understand me because I'm a vet, and sometimes I guess to other people, we speak in a different language. But she takes the time to understand me, and there's not a lot of civilians that can do that for a veteran.
I'm gonna ask you, Ms. Kareem, can you move past this lawsuit and you guys continue to have a relationship?
Of course, I have a big heart. I really do. I see, the good in people, even when they do me wrong,
But you don't feel like she did you wrong.
Oh, no.
You're
she
upset
did
because you
not.
filed a lawsuit.
Of course. And
Obviously.
of course, that's going to be a strain on her. So, of course, she's going to lash out in a way that she doesn't really understand. And her PTSD is active with all the stress that she's endured over the last couple of years. And that accident is something that helped it.
Okay,
really.
so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hug this out. We're gonna hug it out, and then we're gonna resolve the case.
You don't cry, Lila. Don't cry, Mommy. It'll be okay.
We'll go home. Look, you'll help me unpack. Okay.
Well, undecorate.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
We got 3 rooms in the back. Here's what we're gonna do. The maximum I can allow in my courtroom is $5,000. That is the maximum I can award you. Your lawsuit exceeds the maximum. So my judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
I agree with what she said about the judgment and about the responsibility of insurance. I'm also gonna go get me some renter's insurance. I learned my lesson too. I'm gonna make a real effort to maintain the friendship that we have and restore it back to the place that it once was at.
I believe that, our friendship can be repaired because we're just 2 strong individuals.
Today on Judge Faith, a Detroit dad confronts a young man who he claims tried to pull a used car bait-and-switch sale on him.
I was looking for a car for my daughter. The insurance company told me that it wasn't 2004, it was in 2002.
So how many cars have you bought in the last year?
Maybe 4.
4 cars in the last year? So you're flipping cars.
And later, drivers collide in an Atlanta intersection, and now they want the court to determine which person must pay.
And as I was coming out to make my left, before my eyes, lights were coming at me and the young lady hit me. She just came out of nowhere and I swerved, and that's how I hit the side of her in the back from trying to miss her because she never stopped.
You're not supposed to be behind the wheel of a car ever. Not sometimes, not every now and then, not when you have to.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Daryl Blackman says the defendant lied in his Craigslist ad and tried to sell him a used truck that was 2 years older. He's suing for a down payment and lost wages. Defendant Hassan Al-Bahaj says he owes nothing because the wrong information in the listing was a mistake, and by law, he can keep the down payment.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Blackman versus Al-Bahaj.
Thank you, Juan. Daryl Blackman.
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant Hassan Al-Bahaj
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,140. You say he owes you $500 of that is a down payment for a car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the rest is lost wages?
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me what's going on. I understand that you were in the process of purchasing a car from the defendant that did not go through. You want your down payment back. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Yes, ma'am. I was looking for a car for my daughter. She had just gotten her job. She was supposed to start the next week. And so I went on Craigslist, and I seen an ad on there for a 2004 GMC Envoy.
Do you have the ad with you?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it? And you posted this ad on Craigslist?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long had you had it?
I'd say a couple of weeks, Your Honor.
A couple of weeks?
Yeah,
So where'd you get the car from?
Craigslist. But it was mine, though. It was under my name.
Are you flipping cars? Is that what you're doing, making a little bit of a
No, I'm
profit?
not flipping cars. It was an SUV, so I just prefer to actually drive a car.
So how many cars have you bought in the last year?
Maybe 4.
You buy them off Craigslist and then you resell them on Craigslist?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so you're flipping a few cars. Go ahead.
We met up in Walmart parking lot. That's where we met. I asked him, I said, do you have a title for the car? He said, yeah, he had it in his pocket. He pulled it up. I said, okay, fine. I said, oh, follow me to the bank and I'll get you a deposit and we'll finish up the transaction Saturday morning. I took the receipt that he wrote. I went home, me and my daughter, we went home, and I called my insurance company because I was going to insure the car. So I called him for a price quote, and I gave him the VIN number that he had wrote on the receipt. And it came back, the insurance company told me that it wasn't a 2004, it was a 2002. So I said, okay, well, I'll call you back, and I called the defendant. I said, okay, well, you know, we're going to have to renegotiate the price. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, that's my price. My price is firm. I said, well, your price is firm for a 2004, not a 2002.
Did you give the deposit back?
No, I didn't.
What was the reason?
Because that's not true, Your Honor. He actually did see the title, and it was in front of my house, and I mean...
Look at me when you're talking.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay.
What's going on?
I showed him the title, and he actually seen the title, and he seen what year.
Well, let's talk about your ad. Let's not talk about the title. Let's talk about what you advertised.
No, the ad, I admit.
You advertised a 2004.
Yeah, I admit.
And it actually is a 2002?
Yeah, I admit. I made a mistake. I had the car for probably a week, or when I was trying to post it, I have had
So
it
what's
for like
the
2
issue?
weeks.
Why haven't you given him back the deposit if the car is actually a 2002?
Okay, because he seen the title. He knows it was a 2002. When he went home, he didn't want the car.
Forget that. So you can't tell me what he knows, okay? Don't tell me what he knows.
Okay.
I'm asking you a specific question about your ad because it's not a 2004 as you put on your ad, it's a 2002. So you understand the value of the car changes based on the year.
Okay.
So he tells you that he wants to renegotiate the price. That's reasonable. You renegotiate the price because the value of the car is now different.
Okay, so you're telling me when he went home, then he decided that, oh, it's a 2004, let me change my mind.
Forget about what he saw on the title. Forget about that altogether because you're assuming because he looked at the title, he looked at the year of the car.
I mean, he's seen what year it was.
Listen, I don't care about that because here's the issue. The value of a 2004 in good condition is $4,100. You were selling it for $4,000.
No, it's worth
the value of the 2002 is $3,300. That's a big difference in price. He doesn't want to pay $4,000 for a car that's only worth, in good condition, $3,300. So, in your ad, you misrepresented a material fact. So he comes back to you, he still wants to buy the car, but he wants to renegotiate the price, which is a reasonable solution.
Coming up, The details of the sale are examined.
He could have changed his mind when he was with me when he seen the title.
You don't even know what year the car is. How can you assume he knows?
And later, an accident in an Atlanta intersection has the drivers arguing over which person should pay.
She didn't stop at all, and she hit me on the side of my driver's side door. She came so fast that's why she didn't see nothing, because she didn't stop.
Plaintiff Daryl Blackman says Hassan lied about the year of the truck and then refused to renegotiate the sale price. He's suing for a down payment and lost wages. Defendant Hassan Al-Bahaj says he owes nothing because the wrong information in the listing was a mistake and the money he kept was a down payment.
Where's the car?
Gone.
Gone where?
I don't know. I sold it to someone.
I'm sorry, you gotta speak up.
I sold it to someone.
You sold it to someone else,
Craigslist.
but you kept his deposit?
Yes.
Why do you get to keep his deposit if he didn't get the car?
Because he could have changed his mind. He could have changed his mind when he was with me when he seen the title.
Sir, the value of the car
I don't care
not
what's the
worth.
value. It's Craigslist. I can put $10,000. That's my choice.
It's not your choice to misrepresent what you're selling. That's not your choice.
Okay,
That's fraud.
and I made
That's
that
fraud.
mistake, but he was with me.
The contract that you gave to the plaintiff, you wrote that this was a 2004 Envoy. So it's not only did you list it in the ad, you wrote it in the contract. Don't sell another car on Craigslist, because if you're serious about what I'm saying to you and you don't get it, then I think you're committing fraud.
No, I'm not.
You're so focused and you're saying he saw the title. He knew what year the car was. You don't even know what year the car is. How can you assume he knows if you don't even know?
Okay, my bad. Then
Had
I don't
you
know.
seen
He
the
might be
title?
blind. I don't know.
You made this mistake. You had the title of the car for 3 weeks and you made the mistake.
Okay.
He looked at it for 2 seconds and you're saying now it is totally his responsibility to get it right when you got it wrong? What's your lost wages claim for?
I'm a consultant for the City of Detroit Water Department, Great Lakes Water Authority, and I'm showing the guys how to rebuild their major pumps out there at the plant. I had to take off work to file to try to get my $500 back, and then I had to take off to come here.
Listen, if we were here today and he was telling me that he bought the car from Craigslist and there was an issue with the transmission or there was an issue with the engine, the car is as is, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You get to keep his deposit because it's an as is sale. The value of the car is different and you misrepresented a material fact in the sale of this car. You said it was a 2004 when in fact it was a 2002. And based on the testimony and the conversation I'm having with you today, I think you did it on purpose because you're flipping cars and you're trying to make a profit and you're trying to do.
How would I know he's going to give me a deposit?
For a conversation. She's telling you something.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. You're not only going to return his $500, but I'm also awarding him $250 in punitive damages because you're a fraudster. What can I say?
She accused me of something actually that I didn't do. I was not flipping cars.
I feel the judge's ruling was very fair. She had seen through the smoke screen that he was trying to do.
Plaintiff Jessica Bunch says the defendant sped through a flashing red light and crashed into her car. She's suing for car costs, insurance, Uber rides, and for pain and suffering. Defendants Kawasi Collins and Sheena Page say they don't know because Jessica is the one who didn't stop at the light and is responsible for the accident.
Jessica Bunch.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Kawasi Collins and Sheena Page.
Yes.
For $14,000 you say they owe you for car costs, insurance, Uber rides, and pain and suffering, all as a result of a car accident.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'll start with you. Why don't you tell me what happened and how this accident occurred?
Okay, I was headed to drop a friend off at home that morning. It was around like 2 o'clock in the morning. The lights were blinking red, indicating that, the cars were supposed to stop before you keep going. I came to a stop, and as I was coming out to make my left, before my eyes, lights were coming at me, and the young lady hit me on my side.
Okay, let me see the map of the area. Do you want to walk over and show me where the accident
Your Honor.
happened? So where were you? Which direction were you coming from?
I was coming from about right here.
Okay.
And I was coming down this street here. When I got about right here, probably just about past this area here, Miss Kawasi, she was coming from this direction over here. As I was coming out, she didn't stop at all, and she hit me on the side of my driver's side door.
Okay, and you were making a left turn?
Yes, I was making a left turn, trying to cross over in front of her 2 lanes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
And Miss Collins, you were driving that night?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car were you driving?
Camry, Toyota Camry.
From what year?
1998?
99.
99?
99? Okay, because you're the owner of the car.
I am the owner.
Okay. Did you stop for a
Yes,
flashing
I
red light?
stopped, but she came so fast that's why she didn't see nothing, because she didn't stop. And when I yielded and I started to press the gas to move on, she just came out of nowhere. And I swerved, and that's how I hit the side of her in the back from trying to miss her, because she never stopped. Her friend jumped out and started running towards me, attacking, kicking my car, and this, that.
So did your friend get out of the car and they were kicking her car?
No, my door on my side was closed. Her car was so far away. My friend didn't run off to her car.
So none of that happened?
No, we stayed right there by my car.
The car-
I stayed
Is there a police
inside.
report from that night?
Yes,
The cars
ma'am.
was the only
Yes,
reason the
ma'am.
cars had been pulled apart is because we had to get out the street.
Okay, and what were you doing out that night? Had you been at a party?
Yes, from the day before. We had went to go pick up the car because of the New
So you
Year.
had been partying since the day before?
No, I wasn't partying then.
Were you drinking that night or morning?
No, I don't drink, Your Honor.
What do you have to say?
I was gonna say the car got left at her friend's house because that night we were drinking that night before.
Well, she just said she doesn't drink.
Well, that's why it was left, because I was the driver. It was left there because I couldn't drive it.
Let me look at the police report. So this is a drawing from the police department, and Unit 1 represents your car, the car you were driving. So, and according to the police sketch, Unit 1 hit Unit 2. So this is what the police determined after the accident when they investigated on the scene. Due to the positions of the vehicle, debris from the lights of Vehicle 2, which is yours.
Yes.
It was determined that driver 1, vehicle 1, was at fault for the accident for failure to obey traffic control device, which was the flashing light at the time because the lights had malfunctioned at the intersection. Then they found out through interviewing you, ma'am, that you do not have a driver's license. Not only did you not have it on you, but you just don't have one in general. You want to talk about that?
I never had a license.
Now you're all shy and quiet.
No, I'm not shy.
How long have you been driving?
I don't drive.
Well, no, you do drive.
I was driving that night, but I doesn't drive.
Oh, so that's the only night in your life you've gotten behind the wheel of a car to drive?
Sometimes, but I don't drive.
So what does sometimes mean?
Well, every now and then.
Well, you do know you do not have a driver's license.
Yes, ma'am, I do
So that
know
means
that.
you're not supposed to be behind the wheel of a car ever.
Yes,
Not
ma'am.
sometimes, not every now and then, not when you have to. Was it your first time being arrested for driving without a
No.
license?
No,
How many times?
it's my second.
Your second. When was the first time?
Months before then.
She was in your car. Did you know she didn't have a license?
I did. Like I said, the reason it was like that was because the night before we left it, and I was going back to get it, and I was in my work truck, and so she was bringing the car home.
What's your relationship?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay, so you are a couple.
Yes.
Okay, so you know your girlfriend doesn't have a license
Right.
and she drives your car every now and then.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the bills from the accident are discussed in court.
You didn't have gap insurance. So when you get into a car accident and someone hits you, what is their liability?
Plaintiff Jessica Bunch says the accident wasn't her fault. She's suing for car costs, insurance, Uber rides, and for pain and suffering. Defendants Kawasi Collins and Sheena Page say they don't know because Jessica caused the accident.
There are two parts to this case. There's the issue of liability and the issue of damages. Liability in this case is clear. The police investigated on the scene. They found that you were liable for the accident and you don't have a driver's license, so you should not have been driving. Then there's the issue of damages. Now, you had full coverage, insurance coverage on your car.
I did.
It was totaled, right?
Yes.
And how much did you get from the insurance company?
The insurance company paid off $10,998.
And your car is worth, let me just check the value. Your car in fair condition is valued at $8,700. The insurance company paid you almost $11,000.
They paid the finance company, because even though the car, they said the car was worth $10,000, but due to the fact that I went to a finance company, the car that I had to pay off was over $12,000.
You didn't have gap insurance, right? So when you get into a car accident and someone hits you, what is their liability? Their liability is for the property they've damaged.
That's correct.
She's not liable for the loan you have on your car. You could owe thousands of dollars more than the car is worth. She's not liable for how much you owe on the car. She's liable for the damage she's caused.
Okay.
You're also suing for pain and suffering. Tell me about that.
Pain and suffering. It's just been a pain.
Were you injured?
Yes.
Well, I know it's a pain. Every car accident is a pain. But were you actually physically injured?
Yes, I was injured.
Tell me about that.
My back, my neck, I was hit on this side, on my left side, so my arm over here was swollen,
Okay,
and
do
it
you
was
have
hard
proof
for
of
me
that?
to stand. That's the bill from the hospital.
Okay. So this is your only out-of-pocket, right?
Yes, ma'am. I went to the chiropractor, but I had to stop that after they denied my case, so I couldn't even get any more.
And you're also suing for Uber. You said you had to use Uber. You spent $800. Do you have receipts for the Uber rides?
I do have some of the receipts, but it was like so many. Like,
May I see
I have a
those
few
receipts?
here. On just daily basis, I would have to take one Uber in the morning to get them to school, a Uber from their school to my school if it was on a Monday or Wednesday, from my school back to their school.
This case is particularly egregious because you're so cavalier about not having a driver's license and just driving around like it's just no big deal.
I wasn't just driving around.
You know, because you've been doing it all your life, Miss Collins.
No, I haven't been doing it all my life.
Yes, you have. You say every now and again. You're probably driving around every day.
Well, didn't hear
Did you
her.
drive here today?
No.
I better not see you out in the parking lot when I leave.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So here's what we're going to do. You had almost $2,000 in out-of-pocket medical expenses, so I'm going to order the defendant to pay that in addition to the Uber receipts that you provided. In addition to that, I'm going to order you to pay $500 in punitive damages because you came into court today, you told me not only were you driving without a license on this date, you know, driving is a privilege, it's not a right. Okay, yes. But you just got a ticket a few months before for doing the same thing. So that ticket did nothing whatsoever to dissuade you from getting right back in the car driving again, but perhaps the $500 punitive damages in this case will. Total judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,884. That's your judgment. Good luck.
A lot. This has kind of ruined me in a way. I still see lights coming at me from the side, you know, it just hurts.
You know, it was just in a situation that I had to do it. We needed to get the car home, but it won't happen again.